Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
I'm getting up there with my necromancer, Tom.
I've been working on Henrietta. I'm at level 6. I couldn't...
Oh, okay.
I didn't get to play yesterday or the day before, really.
Yeah, you got to get that grind. Hashtag rise and grind, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You got to... I'm at like level 30-something with my necromancer. It's hard to be a demon.
It's pretty chill, though.
It's very chill. I love it.
Like, I don't care that I'm losing that game, which is a very...
Right.
When I'm playing either, when I'm playing the humans or the demon, I do not care when I lose. It's just fun to play, and that's awesome.
It is just fun. Which is the same as F13.
Friday the
13th. I would say I still love Friday the 13th's dynamic better, but this is obviously a way more polished game. And the one thing I'll say is when I played it Jason in Friday the 13th, that would get old unless I was playing with friends, whereas playing as the demon, I could just fucking do all day long.
Yeah, it's like playing Sim City.
Yeah, it is.
It's real chill.
Chill.
Yeah, I'm just like zooming around, setting traps.
Yeah, which is how it should be. Like that is how you would be a demon, an Evil Dead demon. Like one of the aspects of Evil Dead I always thought was how much fun the demons are constantly having.
Yeah, they're really enjoying themselves.
They really are. And like, yeah, when they're defeated, they're like, nah, we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave it at that. Yeah. So it works. It works really well.
Yeah, it's chill. I'm excited for the first DLC. From what I've read, it's going to add some Army of Darkness maps.
Yes!
So that'll be chill. Hopefully that means we'll be able to drive the car with the blades on the front.
Oh, yeah.
That means the pit will probably be in there.
Hopefully. And just, that castle.
Mm-hmm. The castle and the cemetery.
The cemetery. Yeah, that's the one. I mean, it's great. It's great. But I cannot wait for more customizable things. Like when you trap the chests, I want more. I don't know what else it would be, but the hand and the little ashes. But I want more customizable stuff, you know?
Oh, you could do the stuff like when the book turns into alive and bites his hand. You could do shit like that. Oh,
yeah, you could do the book. That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
now
that's
I just want to play
idea.
Evil Dead.
Me too.
We should play tonight.
I probably will. I got a little work to do after this, but I'm down.
I'm down. Work. I got to write so much about Elon.
Oh yeah. Oh, hi everyone.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hypecast.
Hypecast.
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things and the Evil Dead game. I'm your host, Tom Ryman. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
Sorry, David. I didn't mean to cut you out of the equation there.
I mean, we don't have a guest, so
I was so
I could
excited
be the guest.
about Evil Dead. Yeah, that's true. Our guest could be the Evil Dead game.
Yeah, it could be.
We don't have a guest this week. We're scheduling. I don't know. Our scheduling fell through. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do much. We both were like, oh yeah, we need a guest. But we booked a lot of guests for you did
the
specifically.
Future, yeah.
For the future. So like everybody we tapped was like, I can do it in a couple weeks from now. So we have a bunch of guests.
We got some
in the next couple weeks.
Guests lined up for you guys over the next few weeks. You're gonna be so excited when their little voices hit your little ears. You're gonna be like, ooh, that's gonna be the noise you're gonna make.
That is gonna be the noise you're gonna make.
It's the sound of hype escaping the body, Dave.
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's what when we die, our hype escapes our bodies and it goes woo.
Woo! It's like the Futurama joke with Human Bender.
Yeah.
But he wooed. No, that was air escaping the folds in his fat.
That's so good. Then they roll him.
There's the woo.
Oh, that's good.
That's
good
how I want to
stuff.
go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I want to be rolled out of a room.
Yes, wooing.
Wooing.
Wooing the whole
from
way.
my various folds. That's good stuff. Podcasts.
Oh, man.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah, this is podcasting.
Yes, now this
Is
is podcasting.
podcasting.
I'm pretty hyped.
I'm at a pretty solid level of hype. I've maintained the hype. We got some cool trailers today, Dave.
We do. We have some cool trailers. I agree with that. I guess we should probably start by doing some producer nods, though, first, right?
Yeah, I guess we could probably do that if we wanted.
All right. Well, a big old meaty thank you to Hombre. Hombre.
Nombre.
Hombre.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lef.
Thank you.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium. Thank you.
One-stop shop.
Thank you to Ryan, the Silly Money Goose.
Thank you.
Thank you to Snapper Car, Punches, God in the Dick.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to @Nerd Numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to DJ Finney.
On the ones and twos. Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Brockway, loves the meat Millie.
Man, boy, does he.
Thank you to David, Knife
Boot.
Henson. Thank you.
Oh, man. All right, let me get in here. Thank you to Grumblebee.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Seismic Charge Noise.
Thank you.
Very
You
appropriate because this week is the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. So very appropriate,
Nice.
producer nod. Thank you to Look Mom on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Deborah's awesome, Barbara's great, and Cancer can go to hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones. Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thanks.
Thank you to Breezy Ruizy. Thank you to Davy Francis 9. Davy goes to hell.
He sure does.
The final Davy.
Yep.
Thank you to MVB.
Thank you.
All right.
Whew.
All right, Dave.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
we have
She-Hulk.
another week, another new Marvel thing.
Yep. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Yes. The trailer came out this week. Yeah.
So, I don't know from the comics. Is the entire thing, it's in the name. It seemed like this whole trailer was like, look, she's a lady. Like, it was just like...
Yeah. This is... Okay. I'm very... Okay. You finish your thought.
Oh, which isn't inherently bad, I should say.
No.
Like, I don't want to come off as like a weirdo who's like, why is everything political just because someone's a woman or something weird like that. But it did seem to be like the only thing in this trailer.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, fight some crime. You're a superhero.
Well,
and I'm sure she will.
Yeah, that reminds me a little bit of when we were at Cracked, we used to pass on a lot of pitches where the only hook was, and they're women. It's like, well, it's like...
Right.
Where it would be like
ex-criminals who were women.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah.
It's like, okay, we need a little more connective tissue than that. But that's not entirely... I mean, I think
that said, this does look entertaining.
Sorry. Well, this is kind of what I'm split on. I think the idea of this show is great because, like, the She-Hulk Attorney at Law, that's an awesome title. Like, the poster is just her walking up the courthouse steps and, like, some cool-ass pumps, and you can see she's green. So, like, the idea of doing, like, Ally McBeal in, like, a superhero universe starring a superhero, starring Jennifer Walters, I think that's her name, is a great idea. That sounds like a lot of fun. This trailer is bad.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So, yeah, I think what you're saying, I just think it needs to have a little bit of self-awareness, kind of like Futurama, single female lawyer, where like if they know they're doing Ally McBeal and they know that's kind of a 90s dated idea.
It's a very 90s throwback vibe to the idea, which still appeals to me. Obviously, I grew up in the 90s.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I could watch a whole show where she's just like trying to date and trying to have it all, and also a She-Hulk. Like, that is fun, for sure. Like, honestly, I said, oh, you should fight some crime. Honestly, there's a version of this that I would love where she doesn't fight a single crime, where it's just her.
Right, she's just being a lawyer.
Yeah,
and then also learning to deal with her Hulk powers with the help of her cousin, Mark Hulkalo.
If this is a fucking, like, a courtroom series,
perfect.
That would be delightful.
Perfect. A courtroom sitcom. Oh man.
Yeah.
So excited for that.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be. The trailer is not. Yeah, like you said, it's not a very good trailer.
The trailer is pretty bad, and I hope anyway. She-Hulk herself looks bad in the trailer. It could just be that it's not finished. That happens all the time. That happens all the time. The effects aren't quite finished.
Yeah, it's TV. Like I saw. Yeah, there's a lot of people mocking the CGI. And like, yeah, but also if something is good, I can get past that,
It's just it's jarring when like Hulk looks better in the scenes with her, which again just makes me think that the effects aren't quite done yet, because she's a completely new character. Like, they've never rendered her in computers before. So
that makes sense. Who's making this? I'm looking this up.
I forget who the showrunner is.
She did some Rick and Morty. She did okay, yeah, it's like a TV.
Yeah, the reason I was kind of laughing is because I know one of the writers involved in the show is a person that I'm not going to name by name, but a person who has stolen from me and many other people in the past.
Oh, interesting.
So glad that person continues to get work.
Yeah. That's always fun. That's one of those frustrating industry things.
Yeah,
that happens.
And it happens all the time. What are you gonna do?
But yeah. I mean, again, this could be good. You're right. The trailer didn't get me that excited.
I wanted to be good, but boy, the trailer just. It was like a dead fish landing on the pavement for me. It's just like, ooh, yeah. This looks corny in a bad way. Is what the trailer looks like, and the show's premise needs to be corny in a fun way. But trailers are bad all the time. So, I'm more interested in this show just because I like the idea of it. Than pretty much any of the other Marvel shows since WandaVision. Right.
I also this is a weird gripe, but this is adding to the Marvel Let's Reform bad guys where they have Tim Roth there, and Abomination showed up in Shang-Chi as well. And I recently watched like the original the fucking what's his face Hulk.
Incredible Hulk, yeah,
Edward Norton Hulk, and like he murders people. Abomination kills cops, he kills innocent people, and so like this idea of like look at him, look at Tim Roth, like we love Tim Roth, and we do, but like I don't know,
I don't think he's going to get reformed. Like Abomination is one of Hulk's biggest like nemesis.
Yeah,
so I think I
can see him like being the main baddie probably.
Yeah, I think they're bringing him back to make him a recurring villain for Hulk and She-Hulk to have to deal with.
Yeah, but I think they're also playing off of like the fact that Tim Roth is like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
In Shang-Chi, they like played him off as like Wong was like hanging out with him.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, good game, and like high-fiving or whatever, and it's like he killed people. Like
so did
like,
Hulk.
What the fuck?
So did Hulk.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if you remember, Tim Roth starts out as a soldier trying to prevent Hulk from hurting innocent people, and Hulk kicks him into a tree.
Yes.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. There, in the brief shot we see of Tim Roth in this trailer, it does look like he's kind of being like funny and fun, which is totally fine. I like Tim Roth. Everybody likes Tim Roth.
I like Tim Roth too, and that's the thing. I like Tim Roth more than I dislike Abomination. So the other part of me is like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's the Incredible Hulk. It like, and the stuff that happened in that movie barely counts. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
So either of the two Hulk movies, honestly, are barely canon.
It's weird that the Ang Lee one feels like it technically is, because the Incredible Hulk starts where the Ang Lee one left off.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's weird to think that is in the MCU. That one.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Yeah, I think most people don't think that way. And also, I always think of the alternate universe because they did the Incredible Hulk and Iron Man almost back to back. And imagine what would have happened if Incredible Hulk was the one that made the more money, that like did really well.
Yeah.
And then like the MCU would have been like weird and gritty.
Yeah,
Because it feels like that was their test.
Yeah.
Like they did those both and they're like, all right, we're going with the Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, and there's been pieces written about this. But for sure, those first two movies, they come out within a month of each other. Iron Man comes out in May of 2008. Incredible Hulk comes out in June. So yeah, there's definitely like kind of like doing market research basically to see, well, which do you guys like? And because people responded so well to Iron Man, they like doubled down on that tone in Thor. So like there's been a lot of stuff written about how like Iron Man's obviously the beginning. Thor is the movie where it's solidified what the MCU was going to be.
Right. So somewhere out there's a variant of the MCU.
Where it's all Incredible Hulk, and we got like 4 movies out of it, and nobody cared anymore.
Right. Or where like everybody loved it.
Oh,
and
yes!
we're all and Edward Norton is the new Jon Favreau. Where we're all like, yeah, without Edward Norton, this whole thing wouldn't have come together.
Every MCU movie is loaded with cameos from actors from The Wire because Edward Norton was watching The Wire at the time.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. That's I remember watching it for the first time being like, was that Omar?
It sure was Omar.
Omar? It's one of those cameos where it's like, if you're going to have Omar in it, give him a role. Make him play Abomination.
No, he's just
like,
some guy
make him
who
play
comes
the Hulk.
out and reacts to the action.
Like
That's it.
You have Omar and you barely used him. What the fuck?
He's just a bystander. That's all he is.
Yeah. But yeah, She-Hulk, it does seem very fun. I am like, part of it is burnout and part of it's this trailer, but I still like, this is one of the Marvel projects that I was more excited for when I heard about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to give this a shot. I hope it's good.
It's one of the weird ones. And I like, again, I said it's the most interested I've been in one of these shows since WandaVision. And it's because it's this outside the box premise. It's not just another Marvel movie broken up into 6 or 8 episodes like Winter Soldier or Hawkeye or whatever. Well,
I hope it's not that.
Right, the premise, the idea of it is not, but it'll probably. Yeah, WandaVision was also ultimately disappointing, but like still pretty cool for a lot of those episodes. So
for sure. All right. Well, speaking of outside the box stuff. This next trailer is for Spiderhead. I think it was originally called Escape from Spiderhead. A couple things to note. One, it's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who directed Top Gun, the new Top Gun Maverick.
He sure did.
Meaning that, in the time that Top Gun was filmed and then delayed, he was able to just make an entirely different film. Is this going to come out even before Top Gun? I can't tell.
Maybe I didn't notice what the release date was. It's a Netflix movie. Although I think Top Gun comes out Memorial Day weekend. So Top Gun comes out in like 2 weeks. So probably not.
Okay. Probably not. Joseph Kosinski, of course, director of Tron Legacy.
Yep.
Which we all love.
We're big Kosinski heads on this podcast. Yeah,
we are. I really like Oblivion as well. So like that is like this I'm very excited for that reason.
Yeah, it's a high-tech prison where it's run by a crazed Chris Hemsworth. And listen, anytime you get Chris Hemsworth to play a bad guy, A+.
Yeah, and to play like a funny guy too.
Yeah.
I love that Chris Hemsworth, we're now like, he's our funny guy. Because he is.
But he can do both though, which is cool. Like
It is cool.
Like him in like Bad Times at the El Royale, or him as
He's so good in that.
as a bad guy in Perfect Getaway. Like he's intimidating and intense, and in Bad Times he's basically Charles Manson, so it's less like overt intensity like he does in Perfect Getaway. Right. And so like him in this movie seems a lot like Oscar Isaac in the Garland film.
The Garland film, Annihilation?
Donald Gleason and the robot lady, Alicia Vikander. Ex Machina. There you go. Fuck, man.
Yes.
My brain this week, you guys, is not working.
Yeah, he's like tech bro-y.
He's using prisoners and experiments. Yeah.
Right, and Miles, what's his fuck is there? Miles Teller. And like, whatever. I guess it's fine. He's there. I'm just really excited to see more of this director, because at least what I like about this director was that he's one of those directors, kind of like well, there's a few like this where if he can do something practically, he will. But he's also not like ridiculous about it either. He understands that movies are a bunch of different ingredients and CGI is just as good. And so like, I don't know, he's visually is very interesting all the damn time. And it's because I think I've talked about this. He started as, I believe, an architect or a set designer or something. Like he had a very visual beginnings. And so I don't know, he makes very interesting looking films that are also, I would argue, pretty good. I think Oblivion was fun. Tron Legacy, I understand the problems with, but I will keep watching it.
It is Tron Legacy.
Yeah, it is as exciting as Tron was, in that neither were very exciting, but I enjoy it. This seems less like a visual thing. Like Top Gun's another one where I'm like, fuck, I know visually that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this seems pretty focused on the interior prison location, although it's clear that the prison is on some sort of fantastical island. I don't know.
It's also just a little more comedic driven and character driven than he tends to do.
It seems like, it's the kind of movie, it seems like anyway, the kind of movie you make during lockdown, the kind of movie you make during pandemic, where it's smaller, true. It's an interior location, it's only 4 or 5 characters, it appears.
Right. Should be noted it's the writer of the Deadpools and Zombieland, and also Six Underground. So,
Oof.
But you kind of get the style from that, where it's that very meta-y. Although they also wrote, it's 2 writers. They also wrote Life, so they don't just do like straight up comedies, but it's a lot of like meta-ish comedy style. So. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that's gonna amount to.
There's a meta joke at the end where Hemsworth's character says something about attractive people get away with a lot more than regular people, and I know I myself have benefited from that a few times in the past.
Right. That isn't to say that this is gonna be meta. It just seems like that's more their style. Like they're doing the Clue movie, which is like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
so this one
I think those writers are somewhat attached to Ryan Reynolds, and I believe Ryan Reynolds is also doing the Clue movie.
Yeah, I think. So no, you're right. It's weird. Yeah, they mostly do Ryan Reynolds shit, but they don't always do it. Mm-hmm. So that's all to say, I'm very curious about what this is going to be.
I'll watch the shit out of it. It's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah. That makes it very easy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Six Underground was not easy to watch. I turned it off halfway through. But
I guess what I'm
way more faith in this project than Six Underground.
I have faith. I guess what I'm saying is that I love this director, but this is very much out of his style.
I know
the stuff he does, and it's 2 writers that I don't particularly love. So like, there is a chance that this won't work for me, I guess. But I'm very excited to see what it's like.
Right. It makes me more interested to watch it because it's like, this is normally it's like, it's not exactly 1-to-1, obviously, but it's like Spielberg coming off his string of blockbusters in the early 80s to make the color purple. You're like, oh, what is this going to be like?
Right, exactly.
Obviously, not exactly one-to-one comparisons for a number of reasons, but it's a similar kind of like curiosity that's like, oh, how is this big spectacle guy going to handle a movie that doesn't have any spectacle?
Yeah. I'm super curious about that. You want to talk about this next thing?
Yeah, actually, pretty.
I do too.
Pretty into this.
Luck. It's a kids movie called Luck. It's going to be on the Apple's TV. It's Skydance animation.
Yeah. John Lasseter is involved, but whatever.
Oh, that's a shame.
Not whatever, but it's like it's just like Christ.
That is a shame.
We were just talking about how it's like, man, you just can't get away from some people in Hollywood.
Yep.
They just keep
getting
doing those
it.
opportunes.
Yeah, This has a cast that is incredible.
I didn't look at the cast. I was just basing my enjoyment off of basing my interest off of the trailer alone, and this is a really good trailer.
It is. It's a oneer. Which doesn't mean much for CGI, but it's a little black cat going through it's like Monsters Inc., where there's like an luck universe of people who control luck, good and bad luck. And this black cat, who is voiced, I believe, by Simon Pegg, because he is credited as one of the people. And so I'm pretty damn sure Simon Pegg telling people about this luck universe, while a series of near misses constantly happen.
Yeah.
And that's the gag.
It's a perfect way to illustrate the concept of the movie. By doing it through a oneer where this cat doesn't have to stop walking. It just keeps narrowly avoiding stuff, and stuff keeps happening at the right moment to put him where he needs to be. It's very cute. It's very effective. Yeah. I'm into it.
It also has Jane Fonda, Whoopi Goldberg, and John Ratzenberger. So that's why I was like, huh, well, that's certainly a cast.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Yeah. It's, I don't know. It looks very cute. It looks like a fun kids movie, with a little black cat, which, I'm biased, but
yeah, I hear you're into those.
Yeah, I'm pretty into those. I'm looking up the writers to see. They did kids movies.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, one of them wrote King of the Hill, so I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this, except if you have a small child, you should probably show them this movie. But if you're a large person, you could probably also watch this movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Apple TV continues to put out stuff where it's yeah, you guys are really on your game, I guess.
I need to watch more. I have a reminder that I literally have a reminder that says you have Apple TV, because I haven't really been watching anything on it, even though I now have it. And I tried. I watched Severance and I was disappointed by it. So I need to get back on that Apple horse.
Yeah. We should make Apple horses, Dave.
Sure. What is that?
I don't know. It's a horse made of apples. I don't know if the apple is its head or its body or its legs or a combination of some of those.
Right. You just gotta keep women off of it, because Alpha Masculinity Twitter pointed out that women get off on horses.
What?
Sorry, that was a thing that happened today on Twitter.
What? I recognize those are words that you just spoke to me.
It's a tweet from, one of those accounts where you're like, I have no idea if this is satire. I can't figure it out. I still can't. It was a Twitter about man stuff, about how women shouldn't ride horses, bicycles, or motorcycles because they make them aroused.
Yeah, that's why side saddle is a thing, Dave. That's like a thing that people believed 600 years ago.
Right. And people on Twitter now.
Yeah, it's great. It's so great that we're regressing to puritanical views of we're already pretty puritanical here in America, but we're really regressing.
It's just probably a single 17-year-old on Twitter with this account, for all we know. Although it could be a 45-year-old guy. Who am I kidding?
I'm just saying, in combination with everything that's going on,
I know.
It's another aspect of
Listen, the point.
Anyway,
the point is apple horse.
Apple horse. It could be a giant apple with horse legs.
Yeah,
Dave.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And since horses eat apples, that would be a real challenge.
It would eat itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd have to be constant care and vigilance is what would be required of you as an owner of an apple horse.
Right. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm. Now this is podcasting.
All right. Well, next trailer is. We talked about this, but the full trailer is here. Brian and Charles.
Yeah, this clearly got picked up. It's being put out by Focus Features.
Yeah, and this trailer has like millions of views.
Yeah. This is what happens when you get a studio behind you.
This is what happens when we cover a movie that deserves more hype.
Exactly. You're right. I overlooked our own influence and involvement in that number.
Yeah. I think this looks fun. I'm still into it based on this trailer.
Yeah, still on board. If you guys don't remember, Brian and Charles is an extremely British comedy about a British guy who builds himself a robot friend out of a washing machine and mannequin parts and stuff. And it's very British and it's very charming.
The keyword is British.
It's about their hijinks and adventures together, but they're all very humble adventures because it's extremely British.
Very British.
It's adventures like getting in the car and going to town. It's that kind of British, and it looks
it's like
great.
a little British town. Yeah,
it looks great.
It looks like a lot of fun. I think it's stupid and it's fun, and it's just British people being really angry.
It's almost a sketch of a British movie, you know?
Yeah,
like
a very British
movie. Yeah,
yeah.
It looks great though.
Yeah, I like the Brian, his weird inventions and stuff. It just it's a mockumentary style.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fun. People should check out the trailer if you like extremely British things. On the same subject as movies that deserve more hype, I found here this Shudder trailer for Mad God.
Yeah,
which we talked about, which is Phil Tippett's. Fucking 20 years in the making or something crazy like that.
Two or 3 decades, yeah. It's his feature-length stop-motion film. If you guys don't immediately recognize his name, Phil Tippett is a huge visual effects guy. He made the stop-motion animatronics for Jurassic Park. Star Wars, yeah. He got special awards for that because effects awards didn't exist back during Star Wars. But he won an Oscar for Jurassic Park. He's a legend in the field, and this is like his passion project, and it looks just like batshit dystopian sci-fi. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it's like you look at people like Guillermo del Toro and Tim Burton and even H.R. Giger and Phil Tippett's like, that's cute. They're real cute stuff, guys. Hey, check out what I made. It's like this fucking nightmare. Beautiful, beautiful nightmare. Mm-hmm. There's like atomic bombs going off and like mutants. And it's, again, all stop motion. And it's fucking gorgeous. And it's probably just some old man in his garage. Like his garage hobby this whole time. Like, it's just... Oh, it looks so fucking good.
It really does. And it's going to be on Shudder, which is nice.
Yep. Lord knows if it has a plot.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It might not have any dialogue.
No, just drink a bunch of cough syrup and pop it on.
Oh, hell yeah. You're going to want to robo-trip your way through this movie.
Absolutely. It's, just look up the trailer. Find the recent one. It's,
It looks like... The first thing I thought of, and this isn't a complete description, but the first thing I thought of is it looks like that Tim Burton movie 9 crossed with Fallout, the game Fallout.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It does look like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Meet the Feebles a little bit.
A little bit of Meet the Feebles, a little bit of
even though it's not
Coraline
puppets
in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. It looks fucked
but
in the best possible way.
It really does. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just completely fucked.
There's not much we can say about it. There's no plot details or dialogue in this trailer, so it's purely the visuals and the knowledge that it's this stop motion visual effects legend responsible for it, and it's like his passion project. So yeah,
that's
I'm into this shit.
I'm super into it. Also, what I'm into is watching Emma Thompson fuck this this sex worker.
Yeah, okay. Like,
And
low key, this is like my favorite trailer on the list today.
me too.
Okay,
All right,
awesome.
So the trailer's for Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. And it's Emma Thompson.
Perfect name for a sex worker. Leo Grande.
Yeah. Also very like British indie sounding title.
Mm-hmm.
This is Emma Thompson hires a male sex worker to just do all the business to her.
Right.
All of the business.
And he's much younger. He's probably 30.
Yeah. And she's basically like, you know, I never did much with my life. I've never done anything wild. I want to do this. I want to have an adventure in this hotel room with you. And it feels very like Virginia Woolfy, where I don't know if they leave the hotel room. And it's just like him and this guy like bonding and fucking.
Her and this guy.
Oh yeah, sorry. Her and this guy bonding and fucking.
It looks really like sweet and kind of like pensive, because it's like she's reached an age in her life where there's a lot of like body dysmorphia, like she's not comfortable in her own skin. It seems like she was very sexually repressed her whole life, but that's not the entirety of it. It's like she feels repressed in every area of her life.
Right.
And like I'm getting older. Have had some life events in the past year that's making me think more about like my age and mortality and all that shit. And like what she's experiencing in this trailer really like spoke to me.
Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah. Leo Grande is played by Daryl McCormick, who is one of them Peaky Blinders.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize him.
I didn't either. But he's one of them Peakies.
Yeah, he looks great.
One of them. Yeah.
It looks like a really sweet movie, honestly.
It does.
With a whole lot of fucking.
Not enough fucking. I hope
it's
like
never
this
enough.
could have just
honestly,
been fucking.
It's never enough.
Yeah. We could have just had a movie where it's like this for the first 15 minutes and then it's just fucking.
Yeah.
Just but whatever. Everybody has their own tastes.
But yeah, I'm like weirdly excited to watch this. It's coming to Hulu. And fucking it's Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson's great.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's one of those people who like every time she shows up, I'm fucking delighted by her.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think about her that much. And maybe I should, maybe I should wake up and think like, what is Emma Thompson up to today? More.
Right. She's like, again, I'm killing it with this specific genre of comparison today. Again, it's not a total like 1-to-1 comparison, but it's like when Patrick Wilson shows up in a movie, because it's like,
yeah,
it's not like I don't seek out Emma Thompson movies, but like when she shows up in a movie, I'm like, okay, we got a fucking movie now. Like,
yeah, we got Emma Thompson.
Thompson.
Patrick Wilson is very similar.
Yeah.
In a different way.
But like, like I said, I'm killing it with these comparisons today.
Yeah. Men in Black International's Emma Thompson.
Oh, right. She was in that.
Yeah, everybody was in that, and that didn't save the movie.
There's a lot of people in that movie. That movie had an incredible cast, and boy, did it suck.
Yeah, I could maybe watch it again just for no good reason, but...
I still remember, like, most of the plot beats, and...
See, I'm remembering less and less every day. That one left me pretty quickly. I'm surprised how much of it is still there. Like I forgot the movie existed until you mentioned it, and right
now that I'm scanning my memory banks, a lot of it's still in there. Apparently, Emma Thompson wasn't in there though. So
fucking Emma Thompson, Liam Neeson, Tessa Thompson, Camille Nanjiani, Chris Hemsworth. It's like, come on, guys, you got. They're all here. They're all here. How did you make a movie that I don't remember from the director of The Negotiator, Tom?
It's a real heavy hitter.
Men in Black International.
Real heavy hitter right there, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie does look quite good. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. It's fun for the whole family if the whole family likes watching fucking. Although I don't think there'll be nudity in this, sadly.
Well, it's if you caught it, the little chyron at the end, Dave, had the R rating, and it is in fact rated R for graphic nudity.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, give me that. Oh my god. Okay. That's great news.
Back on board.
Tom.
Back on board.
Back on board. I was on board already. I just, now I'm even more on board.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. Well, we have this trailer for The Old Man, which is, it looks like John Wick, but
it's Jeff Bridges doing a Liam
Jeff
Neeson.
Bridges. Yeah. You're right. Is this a series? It can't be.
It is a series.
It's got to be like a mini series.
It's at least a limited series. Yeah, I remember when this was announced back at the beginning of the pandemic. When it's right after. This is part of like the new slate of shows for like FX on Hulu. Like when it was right after Disney bought Fox, and it was like we have this whole slate of new awesome programming for Hulu, and this is one of the shows they announced.
And I'm looking, and like old Jeffrey Bridges, he doesn't have anything else lined up. This is it. So he's committed. He's like, I'm doing a TV show, and I don't know. Part of that makes me sad because I'm like, I like him in movies, but also, like it's one of those things where I guess when I get sad about a TV show, it means like if I don't like the TV show, I don't get that actor for a while. You know what I mean?
That's not always true, especially not now.
Yeah, I know. And then there's this like genre of like modern Western where everything's very yellow and everybody's gritty and old, like that Yellowstone show, which I have not seen.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah, it's right there in the name. So like these feel a little bit a dime a dozen now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why I dismissively said it's Jeff Bridges doing a Liam Neeson is it really does just look like every single one of those where it's like this old guy, but he's not really an old guy. He was a badass and he kills people like breathing. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. And I like the idea of watching Jeff Bridges do one of those. And the bad guy in this appears to be John Lithgow, which of course I'm on board with that.
Another old man. So I'm happy to watch them like fist fight.
He's slightly less old, so he has a tiny bit of an advantage.
Right. I do hope they both get winded very quickly in every scene. Or I want him to be his character from Cliffhanger for some reason.
Yeah. He survived the helicopter explosion.
Yeah.
Quaylen. He wants revenge, Dave.
I'm sure it could be good. It's just, it really blends in with like this genre.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I like the cast. It's also got Amy Brenneman in there, and I feel like I haven't seen her in something in forever. But like the plot is just so, like you said, a dime a dozen that it's like I'm not gonna seek this one out probably as much as I like the cast, and obviously I fucking love Jeff Bridges, who doesn't, but like this is not one that I'm gonna like go out of my way to watch. I will probably forget that it exists.
Yes, I'm gonna have to be told it's really good because it is. Yes, this is one where it's like I fully expect to not think about it for the next 2 years until I hear that it's been canceled. And maybe I'm cynical.
We'll learn that information together on this show, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll share it with all of you once that information
don't worry.
comes.
We'll be your go-to source for all of the old man cancellation news.
Yeah. Final trailer. This is a teaser.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Prey. This is the Predator. I guess you could call it a prequel.
Yeah, and as much as anything is a prequel in Predator, it's just Predator in a different time period.
Yeah.
I guess it's technically a prequel, but...
It's technically. This is one... so I wish I saw this... See, do you miss this about trailers? Is like, if I saw this in a theater first without knowing what it was... I missed
the shit out of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do miss as online as we are and as much as we spend talking about movie news and upcoming news and stuff. I do miss when trailers were a surprise. Because I would have lost my fucking mind if I saw this trailer.
Yeah. They still are for normal people.
Yeah.
Like whenever I go to a movie and a trailer like this pops up in the theater, I'll hear people go, "Oh fuck," Like, if you're not seeking it out, you can't avoid this shit. But, like, so this is a Native American woman running through the woods, and she runs into another one, and she, like, shushes. They run out into a field, and she like shushes her, draws her arrow, and then zoom, the 3 dots on her fucking head.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, please, God, that's so good.
The idea that, I don't know, I feel like every Predator fan has just been begging the franchise to do forever, which is just set one in the past, you dorks. And they finally have done it.
You fucking idiots. They should all be in the past.
They should all be in the past. Like, we got it. Like, after the first one, because I saw some dummy, and this tweet, I think it's probably the similar kind of person who did that horse tweet, but it was just some Yahoo posting a response to this trailer, like, oh, okay, yeah, like some lady with a bow and arrow is really going to do much against the Predator, okay. And it's like, bro, and of course, people dumped on this person because the entire point of the original Predator is about the hubris of technology, and by the end of the film, both Arnold and the Predator have to completely strip off their technology and just fight dude to dude, basically, and Predator fucking loses because he's so reliant on his technology.
Also, like, it's called an underdog story, you jackass.
Exactly, that's
like,
the point.
It's like, oh, a little kid's gonna beat up 2 robbers.
That's
it's
the
like, yeah,
point.
that's the point. That's the fucking point.
That's the other. Yeah, that's where the actual thrills and tension come from.
Yeah.
So it's like you have misunderstood. You've not only misunderstood the theme of this story, but also like general storytelling. You've misunderstood.
Right, and the general theme of Predator. Like, the first one is like, look at all these guns do nothing.
Yeah.
They have to go back to like, he has to be crawling around. If like the ending of Predator is this movie.
Yes.
And like we've talked about it a million times, where it's like, I enjoy the Alien versus Predator films for what they are. I enjoy the Predator sequels for what they are. But I think my pitch was I wanted to do a Predator or an Alien on an old-timey ship. And like this is kind of the same idea, but honestly better, which is like, yeah, this is where I think both Aliens and Predators are interesting, which is like, yeah, of course, if you have all the guns in the world and like a tank and a nuke, like, yeah, they're just dicks with guns and claws. So it's like it works best like a horror movie, which is you're outgunned by them. That's the whole appeal.
It's Alien versus Aliens, basically.
Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, it is. So like, yeah, this is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. Director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I would argue is a good movie that kind of got fucked up by being a Cloverfield.
It is a pretty good movie. Apart from that ending, if it didn't get scooped up by the Cloverfield, I think that would be a way more memorable film than it is.
Right, and if people are wondering, Cloverfield was a disease on cinema. It hopefully is all over now, but that movie 10 Cloverfield Lane was originally an indie film that basically got J.J. Abrams or whoever found and said, let's tack Cloverfield on it, and made it a bad movie. Not a bad movie, but like a good movie that had like Cloverfield clung to it in this awful way. So that is to say, if you didn't like 10 Cloverfield Lane because of the Cloverfield of it all, that doesn't say much about the director. Like, right. It's the only other film this person did. They did direct episode 1 of a TV series that's coming up, Tom. You know what TV series?
I don't. I hope you'll tell me.
Waterworld.
Oh, Dave. There's a Waterworld show? Did we know? We knew this.
I know nothing about, like, if you click on it, it gives you no information. It says Waterworld TV series announced 1 episode. I mean, I hope they get Costner back, just lurching around that Waterworld.
Hell yeah.
Pissing and things.
I mean, he's a big-time TV star now.
He is, that's true.
With Yellowstone.
Yeah. But Prey, I think this is, as someone who just, my DNA is both Predator and Aliens, like growing up on it, and I'm sure you are the same as well. This is probably the single biggest thing I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's like similar to the She-Hulk trailer. There's not too much in this trailer, but like the idea of it is enough for me to be so fucking excited for this movie.
I'm so into it.
Yeah.
And this lady in the trailer looks so fucking badass. Like, that's the other part of it is the first Predator had that, where it's like, look how badass these people look.
Yeah.
And like that, I feel like is important. It's important. They'll still all get murdered probably, but
a good amount of people will be killed, I'm sure.
Yeah. Prey.
Oh man,
this is
fucking throw.
When is this fucking coming out? When do I get to see it?
Soon. It comes out on Hulu of all things this summer.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So Hulu, really?
Yeah.
Can I rent a theater and see it in there? Like this is
this is a movie I would love to see in a theater. Yeah, it's
This is one of those...
bit of a bummer. It's straight to streaming.
Well, so this is where I start feeling old, like where the world is not for me. Stuff like Terminator, Predator, even Aliens, like these things that in my mind are like, this is number one cinema, has kind of taken a back seat, right? In our culture.
Yeah.
Like Terminator films coming, and with Terminator, I get it. They brought that on themselves. Aliens, it's like, it was shaky with people with Prometheus and stuff. And like, I'm a firm believer of maybe you don't need sequels all the damn time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would say Predator is much like a slasher movie. And in fact, it's exactly like a slasher movie in that you can make 20 of these.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
With new, because Predator, the draw is similar to Jason because we're rooting for Predator, right? Because he's cool.
Yeah. I would also think Alien, you could make more of those if you treat them like slasher movies.
Right, exactly, because the point of it, or rather the draw of it, is the setting rather than like
it's how are they going to deal with this fucking
the returning
Predator
characters. Yeah, exactly. So you have this unique opportunity with something like Predator because Predator, as established, has been traveling all through all points in history. So you have this like built-in. You don't need to explain time travel or anything. You can just have him show up in the American plains 500 years ago.
I think Predator and Aliens are both slasher movies that got a little gunked up with the idea of mythology. And Terminator at that. Terminator's a little harder because it's an Arnold film, but there's more components. But like the beauty of Predator is, weirdly enough, it's not only just a slasher movie, it's one where both the villains and protagonists can be completely different characters every movie.
Yeah.
Like normally...
It's built into the premise. Same with Alien.
Yeah. Where it's like, normally it's like, all right, Jason Voorhees is always Jason Voorhees. But in the case of Predator, it's always just some new dipshit alien. We don't know their names. We don't know anything about them. We don't need to. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's a real... man... it's a really unique opportunity that they really haven't taken advantage of before now.
I think same with Alien, where it's like, yes, Sigourney Weaver was a thread throughout, and she's fantastic, but you really could do standalone Alien movies where it's just a group of people on a ship or on a wooden space monk planet. Yeah, what was that supposed to be?
That was Alien 3.
Yeah. And like you can just tell.
I would fucking love that. Drop
little slasher story.
Drop like an alien or a predator into like the Name of the Rose times. Like throw Predator into the middle of the fucking Inquisition in medieval Europe.
Yeah,
or something like that. Have an alien running loose during the Black fucking Plague or something. That's a great. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Do it. So yeah, this is. I'm so excited for this.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the actors, and there's at least these appear to be Native Americans playing the characters.
It's 2022. There's no excuse for it not to be.
There's no excuse, which doesn't mean they wouldn't do it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's nice. That's nice that these are Native American actors in this Predator movie. That's wonderful. Good on them.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're moving on to news stories. Should we thank some more patrons?
Oh, I guess we probably should, huh?
Yeah, I guess we should. Thank you to Chester's Prophet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Oh, I sure do.
Big thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Beep boop. Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thanks.
And thank you to Happy Ed 209.
Thanks
Another
much.
beep boop.
Another beep boop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me take over here. Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Thank you to E.T. the extravagant terrestrial.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnston's time machine noise.
Ooh, yeah.
Again, not necessary to make more Predator and Alien movies. It's built into the premise. Thank you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to pre-order Jason Pargin's new book. Pre-orders are super important.
It's true.
Woo!
So there was this news about Kathleen Kennedy's interview.
Christ almighty.
Where she... What?
I said Christ almighty. It's this whole Vanity Fair spread that came out at the beginning of the week that was basically a massive amount of damage control from Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And like the big thing that was pulled out of this interview, and we're far from the first people to be talking about this week, is that they said basically that they learned their lesson. They won't be recasting any more younger actors to play the classic characters, which means they're just going to homunculus them like they did with Luke in The Mandalorian.
Yep. Get ready for some de-aged Harrison Ford. Some
that's
horrifying...
Awful.
It's completely the wrong lesson.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you realize what kind of bubble they're in.
Yeah.
Where like when they go on this interview and they're like, we heard you loud and clear. The problem with Solo was that we cast a new actor. And it's like, no,
that wasn't the problem.
Not even
with
a little
Solo.
bit.
The problem is not.
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich is great. Like he's.
I was gonna say
he's fine in Solo.
The best thing about Solo is him and Glover as Lando.
As Lando,
like
yeah.
that's the best part. The problem was it felt tacked on and unnecessary, and it was a lot of like a lot of that like cheer moments, that the pandering fan moments. From what I remember, I haven't watched it in a second.
It wasn't quite. It didn't have too much of that, honestly.
It wasn't terrible
apart from him explaining why he's named Solo. Like we needed that.
Oh God, right.
I just think I don't know. That's a weird one. It feels out of place. I think is its biggest problem. It's
like, yeah, but the problem is also like just making Star Wars films.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean, where it's like it's almost, it feels like someone who is like who has to make a fundamental life change, like an addict or something.
Yeah, having
to like create these versions of like the lesson that doesn't involve them doing the hard thing.
Right.
Like that's what it feels like.
Right. It's like someone showing up on heroin to their kid's bar mitzvah, and then they're like, "You're right. I learned my lesson. I will never do heroin before a family gathering again." It's like, well, exactly. No, that's not what we want you to do.
Right. It's a very bleak comparison. I just couldn't think of a better comparison where it's like the problem is the system, the bigger system that they've built, and they keep announcing these small lessons where they're like, "Oh yeah." Like it's the same with the Colin Trevor Jurassic World.
Exactly.
Where it's like the problem is that you won't stop making these and you don't have a story to tell. That's the problem. But that's not what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear a version where the answer is you need to stop making them.
And there's a version where you could hear that news. Like we won't be casting any new actors to play classic characters. You could hear that and be like, "Oh, that's great news. That means they're going to stop leaning so heavily on fan service for the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and instead we'll get some new stories with new characters." Nope. That means...
No, that's not what's going to happen.
They're going to use fucking CGI mutant versions of these actors. And God damn it, Carrie Fisher's family better get money for the rest of their lives, and the same thing with Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. They better pay their families so much money and have so many contracts and legal obligations and oversight put into place, because that sets a terrible precedent that I know that is ghoulish beyond imagination.
Well, luckily Marvel apparently just bought Stan Lee's image from his family. Did they buy it from his family?
I think so. I think they've negotiated it with his estate.
Okay, I have a question about that. We don't even have this on the doc. what are they going to use it for?
They're going to use him to. They said they're going to use it to have. Because they've purchased basically rights to his likeness as well as like some of his like I think WoW comics or whatever. Like so there's some other Stan Lee characters that they now have the rights to. So there's more to it than just Stan Lee himself, but he is a component of it, and they're going to use him to keep having him do cameos in Marvel movies and stuff.
So, do they understand that that's not how cameos work?
No, they don't, Dave. Clearly,
like this is what I was talking about, and you had a good argument against it, where it's like a character versus an actor playing it. But I like with Stan Lee, it's even worse, where it's like Stan Lee isn't a character.
He's Stan Lee.
Yeah. The point is, hey, look, it's Stan Lee. Not, hey, look, it's a CGI version of Stan Lee. That is so funny that they, once again, completely missing the point.
He's just another character to them. He's just another Mickey Mouse to them.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if there is just a robot who's in charge of Disney, like just this big computer algorithm that spits out things that decided like, oh yeah, look how much the audience cheers when Stan Lee goes on. Therefore, we must have a Stan Lee and everything, without not understanding like why that is, why people care.
I think a lot of these.
That's so funny.
I think a lot of this is. Sort of like the cheerworthy moments at the Oscars last year. A lot of this is I feel like are decisions being made using social media response as like the barometer, and social media, as ubiquitous as it seems, is still a crucially small portion of the population.
Yeah. It also doesn't reflect why people do things.
Exactly. So like But like just real quick, like seriously, think of what percentage of people in the world use Twitter. Just try to conjure that number up in your head, and I guarantee you, it's like 5 times smaller than that. Even like it's such a minuscule amount of people that actually use and are active on social media. So it feels like they're basing these decisions on things like, oh, there was backlash to, like you mentioned, Trevorrow. There was backlash to that lady getting eaten by pterodactyls and a mosasaurus, so obviously the answer is only bad people should get eaten by dinosaurs. Oh, people loved when Luke showed up in The Mandalorians, and they didn't like Solo, so that means we should just use CGI versions of these characters rather than recasting them.
They're taking this data that is not
no
not
nuance.
Looking at like
no nuance to it.
Yeah. And they're drawing these conclusions.
An incredibly small sample size. Like,
and again,
a fraction of the people who saw Solo talked about it on social media.
Right. And in their minds, again, they are starting from a position where it's like, we will never stop making these. That's not that we're never going to think about it in terms of, should we move on? Should we make new stories? That's never occurring to them because they're Disney.
No.
They've been riding characters like Mickey Mouse forever.
100 years, Dave. 100 years.
Right.
Just
so
about.
in their minds, they're treating them like cartoon characters.
Exactly. They're just another Mickey Mouse to him. Exactly.
Yeah, like you said. And what they don't understand is there is, in fact, a human component. Even no matter how realistic CGI gets, I don't think that'll ever change with live action stuff. You can't just keep making, like, you can't just de-age Harrison Ford and make, 50 Indiana Jones CGI movies and expect it to, like, be just as strong as 50 Mickey Mouse movies. It just doesn't work like that. But, like, that's just how they see this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to watch that bubble of them saying this stuff where it's like, you just spent so much money on a CGI Stan Lee, not understanding. It's like the holographic live shows where it's like, that's a fantastic gimmick. You're going to get some people into it, but it's not going to replace concerts. You understand?
It's like when Kanye bought Kim Kardashian a hologram of Robert Kardashian for her birthday. It's like, bro.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't replace people as much as you want it to.
Yeah.
It simply does not.
We've solved death. We can keep making Han Solo movies because we have Harrison Ford in the computer. It's like, that's...
Right.
Like you said, there's a human component.
Yeah. And there always will be. It's very silly.
It's like places realizing that they can't, stores realizing they can't replace all of their staff with self-checkout lines. It's
right.
Like it doesn't work that way. Like
yeah.
Again, it's not, I'm killing it with like not entirely applicable comparisons today, but like that's like related to the same mentality of where it's like they think they have this solution, but it's negating the major factor of what endears art and stories to people is the human component.
Yeah. And with this stuff, whenever they just say, we learned this lesson, it's just, yeah. You can't learn anything when you're
didn't
not
learn the lesson.
Yeah, they're not calibrated with reality.
No.
And so, like, the lessons they learn are always going to be completely off.
Right.
Because,
like, spending millions of dollars to put fucking Stan Lee's CGI Phantasm in the next 20 years of Marvel movies, that is violently not learning the lesson.
Yeah, that is such a waste of money.
Oh, my God. Oh,
anywho, Netflix laid off a bunch of employees.
150.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They are clean. It's they noticed not noticed. They had their first loss of subscribers this past quarter. So like them,
and now they're freaking out.
Them cleaning house on Tudum, which happened a couple of weeks ago, where a lot of colleagues got unceremoniously and callously fired at the beginning of what was supposed to be a career. They're denying they're doing this, but they keep axing their animated shows. And it's so funny. They have like this arm that's coming out. Like they're constantly having PR people respond when these articles get published. Like, is Netflix annihilating its animation arm? And like, no, we're not doing that at all. But then when you counter with like, well, but you've canceled, 20 shows in the past month, and you've laid off all of these different writing and production teams. Like, well, yeah, that's true. Okay, so you are canceling all of your animation,
right?
So they're freaking the fuck out, and it's like they're doing everything but it would seem like the logical solution would be to lower your fucking subscription rate because there's way more competition now than there was when you first came out.
It's the idea that when a company keeps growing,
mm-hmm.
and like their CEOs keep making more money, they would never imagine going the other way. The idea of if our CEOs stop making as much money, if the company stops making as much money, then we're failing. That's bad. So they do everything. It's like the opposite of like the captain goes down with the ship, where they're throwing everybody else overboard immediately. You have to
secure the profits for your investors.
Right. And the problem is like the balloon is going to burst that way. Like sometimes you have to like take a step back. Like you said, lower your prices,
mm-hmm.
maybe like invest more in better shows or something that isn't just firing a bunch of people.
You need to recalibrate.
I don't know about you, Tom, but I've seen the effects of that, and it doesn't go in the right direction.
No, it always ends badly. In point of fact, we have 100 years of evidence and anecdotes and examples of this happening time and again, where it does not work. There is, not to get off on a some more news rant, but there is the myth of capitalism is that endless growth is possible, and it is simply not. You cannot continue to grow because what eventually happens is. That's cancer. That is literally what cancer is. Cancer is unchecked growth of your cells. So like eventually you grow. The only way to continue endless growth is to cannibalize yourself. It's the only way. And then it starts falling apart. Like the Netflix, if they keep doing this, they're just going to continue to continue to cut pieces of themselves off until there's nothing left and they have no more products. And then the CEOs just sell their shares and move on to their next thing. That's what happens every time. Yeah. And like this time it'll work. This time we can post profits every single year. Nope. Right. And honestly, they probably know it won't work at this point. They're probably just doing the things they are supposed to do. I don't know. It's not good.
It's not good. It's
it's
bad
really
sign
bad.
for Netflix.
It's really bad. Yeah, it's not a good sign for Netflix. I don't know. I think Netflix is going to be okay, but like it's this, like you said, it's a recalibration is needed. Netflix streaming has changed so much in just the past 3 years, let alone the past decade.
Right.
It's just not the same landscape anymore. It is infinitely more competitive than it was when Netflix got started. They're not the only game in town anymore, and they can't expect to continue to post increasing profits every single year. That's not possible. It's not realistic.
Yeah. They're having a bad time.
Yeah.
They got their Disney stuff taken. They got,
They sure did.
The tons of bullshit which was their fault, with the LGBTQ people and the Dave Chappelle stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they've been making nothing but like bad choices. Apparently, and I didn't look into this because I didn't want it spoiled. Apparently, the Monopoly Stranger Things game just spoiled the new season.
Oh, I've got a tasty tidbit for you on that.
Oh no!
Yes,
what is
the
it?
Monopoly game spoils the season, and the Duffer brothers are upset about that, understandably.
Yeah.
Some of I have heard that the screeners that they're sending out for Stranger Things for review is only the season is divided into part 1 and part 2.
Right.
So the screeners that are coming out now are just for part 1 because that's what comes out next week, I believe. I think it's next week. They when you get screeners, particularly for a show like Stranger Things or something that's like hugely popular or has a lot of spoilable stuff, that you will get a not an NDA, but it's like you don't sign anything, but it's like a directive basically, or a list of instructions from the production company or whoever, which in this case is Netflix, letting you know things that they would like you not to spoil. It's like, in your coverage, because these are review copies, so like in your review, please don't spoil X, Y, and Z plot points, and they list it out for you.
Right.
It's a review. It's called a review embargo. Basically, it's like related to the embargo. And you just, it's like a handshake agreement. Anyway, you don't sign anything, but it's just they give you a list of stuff they don't want you to spoil.
Right.
So. With their screeners, I have heard the list of spoilers they're sending out includes spoilers for part 1 and 2. So they're
spoiling part 2.
spoiling the entire series for the people that they're sending it out to review the first half of it.
That's so fucking weird.
It's like there's such a disconnect between the business end of Netflix and the creative end of Netflix.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a lot of companies, obviously.
I know, but we
just got finished talking about Disney, but yeah, you'd think they'd understand that.
For what is, hands down, their biggest hit, pretty much, right? Or at least the thing that like put them on the map a couple of years ago as being a serious contender for like huge crossover appeal in their original programming. Like obviously they had success with like House of Cards, and Ozark, I think, was before that as well. A couple other shows, Orange is the New Black, but like Stranger Things was like a phenomenon. It's like it's their Marvel basically, and it's to have them be so fucking careless with the first Stranger Things episodes in 3 years to just spoil it in a fucking Monopoly game and like in the fucking email that you're sending to people to review it. It's like, how can you don't care about the stuff you're producing?
I was going to say spoilers to me tend to be a sign of how like creatively bankrupt something is, or how much a fandom is creatively bankrupt, if that makes sense. Where it's like this happens with Marvel a lot, where it's like you have to mute stuff because their fans just don't care. And it's mainly because what that says to me is that they don't actually care about the plot so much as the hype. To me, that's what that says to me, is when it's like, oh, this X character's in it, we're going to post memes and post about it all over the internet. That means they don't really care about the story.
Exactly.
Because that means the story doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a product that like has like, there's nothing linear about it in their minds, I guess, where it's like telling a story as opposed to just like, look at all these cool things in it. It just speaks terribly for Netflix that they don't understand that.
It's
for sure.
It's a bad look. Very, very careless.
It's a bad look. Yeah. But You know what's a good look?
What's that?
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is coming back, Tom.
Oh, hell yeah. The news I've been waiting for my entire life.
Yep, they're rebooting it. Disney is. I don't get it. The first one was so good. You don't need to fuck with it.
Don't fuck with perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Sure.
This is the most low-stakes news.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it was an existing comic, so it's just another adaptation.
It's the League of, shit, I forget what it's called. Like, the Creative Commons. Like, it's a League of,
the League of Public Domain.
Public Domain,
Public Domain
right? That's
characters.
the idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's great. They should have put Winnie the Pooh in there.
I mean, they can now.
Yeah, they can now. That's what I'm saying. It's like Smash Brothers. It's like, yeah, fuck it. Just add as many public domain characters as you can.
Super Smash Brothers. Get Winnie the Pooh and Abe Lincoln in there. I don't give a shit.
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, sure.
Final news is that I don't know if this is the official announcement, but Daredevil is definitely back. We all knew it was going to be back. They have the writers.
It is not the official. They have not made any official announcement, but they did hire 2 writers to write it. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
and I mean they brought him back in Spiderman, and there's all these like Instagrams of like the cast hanging out together, and it's like, gee.
Yeah,
wonder what that could be.
Exactly. It's one of those where they haven't made their official announcement, but it's like you can see, there's a new Daredevil series that's going to come out for Disney Plus for sure.
I hope they I know no, they don't have it confirmed. I hope they don't fucking write Vincent D'Onofrio out of this because they blew their load with Hawkeye. Did you watch that?
No, but I did hear he like shows up and gets killed immediately.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers, but not. It's been out. They also make him like superhuman. Like he gets like hit by a car and it's fine. Like they do this thing where they bring him in, and Vincent D'Onofrio is fucking amazing. He's playing the character as always, and he had no business being in it. He barely matters in it, and then they just sort of like make his character awkward and different. Then like clearly it's someone else writing him, and they make him like weirdly more superhuman, and then he's gone, and you're like, why did you do that? Was it, again, it's just for the idea of like, we need a cheer moment, like, oh, this character, but it's like, if you have nothing good to do with him, just leave him out of it.
Yeah.
So like, I hope he's back for this. I really like Daredevil.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I like him as Kingpin. He's great.
He's so good.
Yeah. It's a very interesting performance.
It is. It's not the Kingpin you'd imagine.
No.
And it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
It sounds like the version in Hawkeye is closer to what he is in the comic books.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely.
But yeah, I loved the way D'Onofrio played him.
Yeah. That's it for news.
Yeah, let's move on.
More patrons.
Yeah, let's thank some more people.
Yeah, big thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist Hal.
Hail Satan.
Thank you. Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler. Boodleson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers. Thank you to Space McNulty.
Always.
Thank you.
Let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you to Nolan Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch and Patreon at HeartFistBrain McGuire.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
TD.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick, Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J.
Thanks.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy.
Dave.
Pie Guy.
Dave.
Yes.
Dave, I have something very important to ask you.
Okay.
And normally at this point of the episode, I do some goofy ass bit about seeing if you have another movie that deserves more hype. Now, I'm going to ask that same question. However, there is an asterisk beside it.
Okay.
Okay. There is an addendum to the initial question of, do you have a movie that deserves more hype? Does it star a person who was in one of the other trailers we talked about today?
Yeah.
Shit! What luck!
Wait, who's in this that's in another trailer?
Tim Roth.
Oh, yeah! Yeah. That's very true. Okay, so listen, I've been hearing about this for a while because it was at the Sundance, and I never thought it was going to be a movie that deserved more hype because I just figured when the trailer came out, people would immediately jump on it. But the trailer isn't. Nobody's fucking talking about it. The trailer has like 30,000 views.
I haven't heard of it.
Which is 30,000 is a lot, but for this, I mean, come the fuck on. This is Resurrection, starring Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth. It's a horror movie. It's a horror drama movie about a woman who has a former partner played by Tim Roth who was clearly abusive in some way. He is not a good person, is what we know. We don't quite know what happened. And he shows back up after, I believe, 22 years. So, like, you know, it's been a while. And he says, I believe he says that their son that they thought was dead or something is not dead.
Right.
And he tells her that she can get access to her son if she performs a series of what he calls to be kindnesses, which turns into some sort of like series of tests on her and mind games. And from the reviews I'm seeing, like it has a lot of like, I don't think it's the same plot at all. It obviously isn't, but I'm seeing a lot of people kind of react to it the same way you would like Old Boy, where it's just like, boy, that ending. Like, it's a lot of that.
Oh, I got you.
Or something like The Gift. I'm not saying there's a twist, but The Gift is not the Sam Raimi one, where it's like clearly like something really messed up happens in the end of this movie, and it's really tense. I mean, the trailer is really tense, and the trailer doesn't tell you much, but Tim Roth is clearly like an evil guy. Rebecca Hall it's a lot of like gaslighting and stuff where like she keeps seeing him.
Yeah. Just
sort of watching her.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like something like Men, which is coming out soon. It has that vibe to it. The director is new. The writer-director did one other full length called Nancy Please, which I never saw.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of that plot information is not in the trailer. The trailer is very good. I'm actually a little less interested in it now that I have the plot summary before me, because the way that the trailer is presented is Rebecca Hall is this very successful professional, and at some conference, she spots Tim Roth just randomly in the audience and starts to have a panic attack. And the trailer sort of spreads out from there, where she's seeing him everywhere. She's becoming increasingly obsessed with keeping herself and her family safe from him. So, and there's just really one quick scene with him where they're sitting down in a diner together and he seems relatively genial. So, like, just based on the trailer, I thought, is this a movie about a person with borderline personality disorder? Where it's like she probably did experience abuse, but has interpreted it in some way where it's like she feels she needs to defend herself from a threat that's not really there. Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, that's kind of what the trailer seemed like to me.
We don't know what it's going to be. Maybe that is, maybe that is a factor.
That could be it. Yeah.
It's just
the plot. The plot summary seems to make it much more of a straightforward thriller, which is totally fine. I like these two actors a lot. Rebecca Hall's been killing it lately, so that's awesome.
She really has.
But I'll still watch it either way. But I don't know. It's the trailer was much more interesting than the plot description to me.
Yeah, I get you. I think I don't know. I'm intrigued by both, but I get what you're saying. Where, like, I don't think this is going to be supernatural in any way.
No.
I think it's just going to be really intense.
Yeah, none of those vibes. Although there is some imagery in the trailer where she finds like a baby in the oven and it's covered in dirt.
Yeah, there's
it's like,
maybe
well, that's probably not really
aspects.
happening, but
I hope not. Yeah.
Well, and there's definitely the trailer makes it clear that there is a psychological aspect to what's like. It's clear she's obsessing and is not quite making the best judgment.
Right.
So they seem to be kind of suggesting that maybe not everything she's seeing is literally real. But I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'm just surprised more people aren't talking about it because, yeah, like you said, fucking Rebecca Hall, Jesus Christ, like she's doing great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super curious about this one. I also want to do a quick follow up. I don't think I mentioned this that I saw We're All Going to the World's Fair. I know I mentioned it to you, Tom.
You did.
Oh
yeah.
no, I did mention it on I think we just watched. That was really good. It's not the movie you think it's going to be. Like it's not a straight up horror movie. It's more psychological. But it was really good. The main actress, whose name I guess is Anna Cobb, I really want her to have a career. That's all.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do a follow-up on that because I feel
Follow-ups
like I hadn't mentioned
that
it.
deserve more hype.
Follow-ups that deserve more hype. But in this case, Resurrection. Check out the trailer. Very good trailer. It's coming out August 5th, so we'll probably start hearing about it more.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm guessing because it's got Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth.
Yeah.
So like, you know.
And it's like it's like an appealing genre movie too. So it's like this is the kind of shit that people go to see. So like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, what's the deal? Come on.
I don't know. Get on it.
Yeah.
Whoever's putting this out. IFC.
Get on it, H Wood.
Yeah. Old H Wood.
Old H Wood. Dave, I think that's a sode. I think we did it. Oh man.
Good show.
And we have no one to thank except ourselves, so
Yep, no guest. We did this alone by ourselves.
Dave,
no training wheels.
Why don't you tell them some stuff about us?
Yeah. Well, listen, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. There's some stuff on there. For just $5 a month, you get access to a bunch of podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. Just $5 a month. A bunch of exclusive podcasts. We also, for $10 a month, watch movies with our patrons every Friday night. That's tonight. We have something very special for you guys tonight.
Oh, so, yeah. You're going to be so excited.
You're going to be so excited.
You're going to be so excited. Oh.
You're going to be so excied.
There isn't a bleak hint somewhere in this episode, so go back.
I was about to say, we hinted at it, yeah.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, and a bunch of other things. So check that out.
Yeah.
And leave us a review if you would. And follow us on the socials. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're on the socials.
We're on the socials.
At Gamefully Un, I believe.
Yeah, at Gamefully Un.
On the Twitters.
On the tweets.
So yeah, those are all things to do.
That's all of our information.
And be good.
Yeah, be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
All right.
As Jesus said.
Mm-hmm. As Christ said.
Yep, be excellent to each other.
The bass player in Wild Stallions, Christ.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.